Let me try to get a better angle. Hi, everybody. Good morning. We're back again. My goodness, I feel like I was just here. And you never guess. Hi, who went live? Who's going live right this very minute in time? Hi, everybody. Hi, good morning. Hey, Dr. Falcone. Silver alert has been averted. Tim was found. So we've called off the silver alert. Tim has been found. Okay, he went hours yesterday. I mean, I thought for a minute, that silver alert that we had to put out in Florida, that, it was going to have to keep being posted, but no, he's been found, thankfully, with a cup of coffee and a golf course. So, and coveting people's stuff. So we're going to look at Tim today, those of you who are not familiar with Tim. But those of you who are not from the Tim community, who are coming over, hey, good morning, Sam. Good morning, Miss Pat Ray. Good morning, Janex. Hey, Bella, my goodness. I feel like I was just chatting to everybody a few hours ago. Hey, Claudette, come on in. Come on in. Hey, Brooke. Hi. Happy Memorial Day. You got your notifications? Yeah. Hey, I've been, I certainly try my side. Sam Spade, too bad he was found. Marlene says, who is Tim? Oh, Marlene, we've got the female. We've inaugurated Tim officially into Girl World. I think he may have a sock account already making comments in my comment section. And so we are getting ready to let people, Tim has been causing all sorts of issues on the YouTubes for a while. And he's got kind of a story. And he's right up there with the girls. Right up there. Thought you were finally done with him. No, we want to make Tim feel loved. We're going to give Tim the full reaction community treatment because he has not been able to, hear, from all of us what we're considering. But Foodie came on. So we're going to go quickly. I know we're talking about Tim. Oh, God, shoot. Yes, I've got my best cup of coffee ready. You see, I'm a nurse. What's your superpower? So I do. I have the best. Hold on. I got a slurp. I had to go make my coffee. That's why I was running it just a second behind. I got to slurp and have the world's best ever cup of coffee. So make sure that you got your cups of coffee, that you're slurping, that you're, goodness, if I keep drinking this coffee, I might have to make a pit stop somewhere. So yeah, we might be pit stopping. Anyway, my goodness. So I don't know if this young lady saw that I was going live with somebody else this morning. Oh my goodness. But let me just share the madness over here. Share the madness for 2 seconds and then we're getting out because this is what I woke up to or what I just discovered about a minute ago. Right when I was about to go live. Guess who decided to go live at the same time? Just guess for a second. Guess who decided to go live? Because I'm going live. And we're going to share this screen for 2 seconds, and that's it. And then we're going over to somebody else. We're going over to Sarasota Tim, who's not lived actually in Sarasota for quite some time and is originally from Alabama. So here we go. We got Foodie, of course. Look at this. So blimp. Look at this.
I say that,
This is live. Right this minute.
Foodie, you don't really think good camels look like the one you got spit on. I honestly don't think there's any good looking camels. Go look.
Looks like she got her teeth cleaned, maybe.
But
did she get her teeth cleaned?
Their fur, their fur sheds and
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Foodie. Bye.
Yeah, I guess I've
Yep. That's who we got this morning. Yeah, she's already gone. It's live now. Yeah, of course. She's absolutely live now. Yeah, Tim will teach you how not to live your life. Absolutely. So the first thing I did want to talk about, she's so skinny. I know. She lost so much weight and she looks feverish and she looks like she has a terrible cold. So yeah, that's about as much love as I'm going to give Foodie right this minute. Yeah, you got to make sure you got your world's best cup of coffee ready. I don't know or care where Foodie is. I'm here because of Tim. Well, we're doing Tim. Don't worry. We just laugh because every time I plan to go live, she seems to go live at the same time. It's just coincidence, but it's funny that I had planned last night's live. She went live. And then this morning I had this already planned for Tim. I'd already set this out and, was getting out the silver alerts and everything else. And guess what happened? Guess who decided to wake up early and get herself live today? Tim would have to say he has to tinkle. Yeah, but he don't go too far away from a retail area once he starts drinking that coffee. She lost a lot of weight. Doesn't she look different? She's like a whole new person over there. Okay, so the first thing I did want to share, because this is one of the things that I think all of our favorite YouTube content creators love to do. And don't forget, I got my links down below if you want to buy me a cup of coffee this morning. I should put my I should just put my QRS code up here, but I didn't want to be that bad today. But yes, I'm going to share this part of what Judge Mathis said about dry begging. And it's actually very funny. It's very quick. It's like 43 seconds. I'm going to put the sound up. Yeah, he's got his like containers in the car. Tim, we're getting to Tim. So this is a little bit about kind of Tim's mindset. Okay, just listen to this. It's a very short clip, but Judge Mathis is going to explain to us a very key component of the YouTube content creators. And we know that I do this persistently. Hold on.
Standing there and looking at it like,
okay, let me start back. Sorry, my sound was down. I thought I had it.
We went into Steins Gardens and Gifts, and I'm just standing there and looking at it like, oh man, I wish I had the money to get this. So we go back out to the car.
You said that?
Yes.
In front of her?
Yes.
Dry begging.
Oh, well, no. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have
That's
this.
dry begging.
Well, I mean, how is
You know what that is.
Well, all right, what it is, what it is.
Yeah, somebody with you who has a couple dollars and you looking at something you want. I wish I had.
Well, I wish I had this.
And you look up the side of your head, the side of your eye. Go ahead. So you dry begged her, what happened?
She bought it. She wrote a check. Okay, the TV came about.
So that's just, to give you a little sense of the sort of things that, our friend Tim does. He loves a little bit of dry begging. He's not ashamed to dry beg. Okay. So this quote, every time, I'm going to have to clip this one because every time he does it, I'm going to have Judge Mathis come out and tell him he dry begging. So I'm going to have to clip that quick clip for that. Thank you, Judge Mathis. We appreciate that explanation. All right, let's get over to Tim and see what he's been up to. And then we're going to look at a couple of his videos. And then I'm going to let everybody enjoy the rest of their Memorial Day weekend. I actually have a little barbecue thing to get to this afternoon at a friend's house. So I hope everybody else is enjoying their Memorial Day weekends too. And you're going to hear Tim complaining about how everybody else is being able to enjoy their holiday weekend. So there's a lot of jealousy and envy in Tim's world. Tim is 65 years old, and he spent the most of his life, it seems, living off of a variety of women, his ex-wife, his girlfriend, Tammy. Yes, the Sarasota Tim Retirement Fund. He then, decided that he was going to take his ex-spouse. He was going to take his Social Security benefits at 62, which are based on his ex-spouse. So it's like he's on a spousal benefit. He was very work shy throughout most of his life. He did not provide his children, I understand, with any type of health insurance while he worked. He originally started out, he left school at 16. He became a car salesman, which he did for about 17 years. And then after that, yeah, put your pants on, Tim. Yeah, he needs to put his pants on, especially when he's filming. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How long will it take Tim to burn through Tammy's doll? I'm hoping Tammy is not coming out. He's talking about this guest and he's alluding to it being a female. But if Tammy got any sense, she'd stay in Sarasota or stay in Boynton Beach or wherever she's at. Because he moved over to Boynton Beach. So he just happened to start his channel when he was in Sarasota. And then he moved to Boynton Beach and he just didn't change the name. So he's not been in Sarasota for some time. Now he's going to talk about like golfing 2 years ago. Nobody remembers Tim doing any golf videos in 4 years. But now he's like Mr. PGA Tour out there golfing. He is coveting. Yeah, he is work shy. Absolutely work shy. And then he spent, I understand, 33 years sharing or selling, going door to door, selling coupon books for oil changes. And he may have worked 2 to 3 days a week, few hours a day. And he's like already, but you'll watch how he covets other people's belongings because he was in a generation where he had an opportunity to have all of these things that he covets from other people. I mean, he was in Florida. But he's just work shy. And he just happened to get lucky on this YouTube thing. And so he is losing. And he loves some, he reads his daily, he does his devotionals. He is, how Foodie goes in a circle and tries the arcs. Well, Tim is just, every arc. We got a lot of people. Who the buck would tell this loser's life story like his on the World Wide Web? Well, you know what? We're just warning people over here, Robert. We're just letting people know. Tim is a story. Okay? He's an interesting opportunity to look into personality traits and how these folks then manipulate people to send them money on the internet. Because Tim's had hundreds of dollars sent to him through coffees. He has used his YouTube infamy, if you may, to ensure that he is getting free stays at people's houses to park his RV. When he went through North Carolina, you could just tell that the whole trip was based around people he had connected with, who he had insured because his numbers were getting pretty big at the time. He could get, their businesses shown. So he was eating at all these places. He was never a car salesman. That would have been, he just worked in a car lot. Oh, see, he likes to say he's a car salesman, but he just worked at the car lot. And so Tim likes the toys. He does. That's why I really wanted to say, yeah, Tim's a low-cow. Yep. He's just a male version because, why, we can't just, even though we're ladies, we have to be gender fair around here. Oh, he's a story. Oh, yeah, he is a story, Robert. Oh, he is. He's a story. Yeah, Tim runs through his cycle like he's on a hamster wheel. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm learning more about Tim. I started watching him probably about less than a year ago. And then obviously, he moves around a lot. Oh, yeah, he does. And he, at one point he was giving all this financial advice, Bella, while he was living in his wolf pup camper in the hurricane zone, That's what Dr. Falcone said. Just because you drank Arnold Palmer doesn't make you a golfer. Yeah, now I'm wondering if Tim is back on the sauce because he was supposed to be a recovering alcoholic. And he always talks about being, sober, but now he's off at the casinos and talking about old Milwaukee. So I'm wondering if he's going to be back on the drink. Oh my gosh. Drifting and grifting. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. It's entertainment purposes. Yes. We are not here treating, diagnosing. We are not doing any of these things. We may talk about people's personality types, but it's just for education, information purposes. I am not diagnosing Tim. I'm not treating Tim. Tim is just, for me, a case study of personality types that are charismatic and are able to win, a lot of views through the YouTube algorithm. He came out with this whole message about retiring at 62 years old on Social Security. And he omitted to give out a lot of details about how he had afforded certain things like his new truck, his camper, and then as his YouTube monetization began to grow and he got more viewers. And I mean, one of his videos, 2.1 million views on a Social Security, that I've actually had people emailing me and letting me know that, yes, they're adults. It's up to them to, take their own, information and do with it. But they had been somewhat misled by the message that this gentleman was giving. And he would talk about special rules to Social Security and a lot of things. I mean, literally, he's telling somebody like me, my age, pretty much, that, you better start thinking about going to Social Security now because you're going to be dead by the time you're 73, which is not even the statistic for mortality for men in the United States. So he's very, yeah. What's the deal with Sarasota Tim? Oh, Delulu Pondu, everything. Check through the chat because there's going to be some folks through here who are familiar with Tim. This is the first time I've ever live streamed about Tim. I don't think that Tim has been given the full girl world treatment. He doesn't know how we do it around here. That once we sketch somebody and we decide that they're an interesting story and they have interesting parts of their personality, and along with it, they're doing harm to people along the way, then we're going to take a look at these folks because we want people to be aware. Because Tim is single and he's going to be looking for another sweet little thing to help, finance him, especially if he starts running out that YouTube money. So ladies, beware, okay? This is a public service announcement for any women that Tim suddenly thinks is a sweet little thing. Because he's going to be coming after you because he needs a new sugar mama. Because that YouTube coin going to start drying up soon, especially if he gets too tired. You're excited for a new locale? Oh, you're going to love what he eats for breakfast because it's cowboy steaks and bacon all day. He can destroy a piece of meat faster than anybody I know. Oh, his latest is looking at homes and lifestyle. Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to look at today. He's coveting out in Arizona even more than Florida because, he doesn't have his 401. He don't have his, I got my best cup of coffee here. He doesn't have any of it, okay? He's looking for, probably like a lady who maybe got divorced, had a wealthy husband. Now she got that good spousal benefit, and now he can go live off of it. Or a widow, anybody who's got, finances that, and then he's going to treat you like garbage because he's going to tell you what to do. He's going to make you split your meals with him, like at a restaurant. So he's going to do a meal split. He's going to bring a coupon. He's going to make you pay for the cruise. And then while you're paying for the cruise, he's going to tell you where he wants to go and what he wants to do. Oh yeah. He's a preacher too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Forget one of the 10. Oh, Tim is all for. So yeah, he's a Salah, but 30 years older. Yeah. Oh, he's foodie in 30 years. You've got to watch the old bit of him off-roading as poor runners. Oh, you know what? We might have to do a retro for that, Gen X. There's always time for retro reacts. So even if Tim only puts out 2 videos in a day rather than his usual 6 to 7, yeah, then we could. Would he settle for a wealthy dude? I mean, he was trying to get Brock to get him up to Scottsdale, Arizona. I think he was scared. Controlling much? Watch out. Okay, so Let's actually get over to one of his videos so we can start to learn a little bit more about Tim. Because like I said, I think Tim already has a stock account coming over to my comment section because he loves the haters. Okay? He loves us. He loves us. So first, I wanted to play a very quick video where he is trying to become the salesperson for the town that he's currently visiting. So you're going to hear, you know, because Tim is always wanting to try to. Thank you. Junebug's beezing, everybody. I just took her for a walk, too, the hopes that she wouldn't beeze on me today, but she's beezing. All right. So this is a funny one because he says, I can't even speak this, but I'm going to. I ain't going nowhere. It hurts my Britishness to have to say this. It hurts my Queen's English. Anyway, he says, I ain't going nowhere. It don't get any better than this. Break out the old Milwaukee. Now, Tim is playing the golf rounds at like 11 a.m. because obviously these places get hot. Most serious golfers, they're going to want to get out early on those links before the sun comes out. But Tim goes for the discounted rates at 11 a.m. And, you know, he's from Florida, so he's used to the heat. But obviously, you know, he's not desert heat. So this is all new for him. We get a whole thing, too, where he shows us how he goes shopping at Walmart for his golf clothes. Honestly, he's touching everything at the Walmart. All right, Tim. Let my audience.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from McDonald's. I'm going to go in here and get myself a cup of coffee, and I'm going inside because I'm absolutely going to pay for somebody. Why am I saying that? Because I feel generous, and I'm having the best day of my life. I just shot the best round of golf I've ever done in my life, folks. I'm having such a good time. In fact, I got breaking news. I've been talking to Johnny Vegas. He calls me all the time. What a great friend he is. He's got a range finder for me that he wants to give me next week. If you don't know what that is, if you're not.
Oh, Tim loves it when somebody gives him something for free. So, you know, he was dry begging. We know what dry begging is because he was complaining the other day on his links that he was in a golf cart. It didn't have a GPS, didn't have the markers on the side to let him know how many yards to the hole. And he needs a range finder. So this guy, Johnny Vegas, who we're all joking about, he's trying to get a sponsorship with Johnny Vegas. I can't with Tim. Well, anyway, he's now grifted a rangefinder. You know, and and then the other part is, you know, he always has to do the, you know, gifting of the coffee behind somebody, but he only does it at McDonald's where the coffee's $1.79. When he goes to like the Human Bean or a more expensive coffee place, you'll suddenly see he's not doing his same generosity. But then if the person doesn't reciprocate with a thank you so much, or, you know, toots the horn or gives him away, oh, he gets really angry about it. So he's just trying, who knows what the performance is for this. You know, it seems like he's trying to do a good thing, but, you know, Tim definitely suffers from main character syndrome, in my opinion. And so it's, you know, it's got to kind of be about him. And he's talking about breaking out the old Milwaukee. Tim, you're supposed to be a recovering alcoholic. Why would you reference a drink? All right, Tim, just keep telling us about whatever. He just makes random videos like this all day long. It's not unusual for him to put out 7, 8 of these things.
You're not a golfer. You hold it and you look at it and it tells you how far it is to the pin. And if you watch my video today, you're going to see I was kind of frustrated trying to find out how many yards I was to the green. And there was no markers I could find anywhere on sprinkler heads or on poles that a lot of courses will put on the side of the on the cart path. There's some kind of mark to say 150 and then 100, and then you can just judge in between how many yards you got. And you got to know these things. Like the other day when we played Laughlin Ranch.
Old Milwaukee is a type of beer, Claudette, here in the U.S. So it's not coffee, it's beer. So Tim used to be something of a drinker. Now he's found God and sober.
Up here on the mountaintop, it had that GPS on the golf cart, which was really nice. And you could get all kind of information on that. Check out this nice boat right here. Everybody's in town. It's Memorial Weekend, and they're all here down on the river. I owned the golf course today. Wait till you see that video. I was the only person out there. And for $25, I mean, come on, man. It's free. So I decided this. I've played 4 rounds of golf now, 2 rounds at 25, 2 rounds at 40, 1 included lunch. They all included driving range, cart, ice. 1 included 2 bottles of.
If any of my moderators could make sure that they drop a link over to Blind View's channel for me. Hey, Blind Views, I'm so glad that you're coming in this morning. Yeah, thank you. You guys have got to check out Blind Views. So yeah, if any of my mods, Pat, Bella, Brooke, any of you guys who are in the chat could pop over to Blind Views channel. Since I got my Nightbot up. I saw Nightbot came on in with some stuff for me. Let me make sure my Nightbot's up. And could drop a link over to Blind View's channel for me. Just so you guys could also find his channel. I would really appreciate that. He's got some great commentary on Tim too. He's been watching Tim for a while. And so I certainly, come on in, Blind Views. We're so excited to have you here. Come on in. Here we go. There we go. Thank you, Miss Pat Ray. We got Blind Views coming on. We're popping over. You know, he definitely's got some great insight on Tim too. And I really would want you to go over there. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he don't play. He tells Tim straight up, man. You know, we got a whole group of, we're getting some, Thank you guys. Absolutely, Blind Views. I love your content. I always watch. I'm subscribed probably in a different name. It's not a sock account. I just sometimes, because it's on my TV, because I need more than just a hotspot, because he complains about that too. Tim, you can get a traveling hotspot in your car too, don't you? So if you're getting into the mountainous areas, you could still get internet, because when I traveled, I actually had like a hotspot I put inside my car. So my car became its own mobile hotspot. Yeah, hit the likes. Yeah, don't forget to hit the likes, everybody. All right, let's keep going on. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, hit the likes. It's a free way to subscribe to my channel. And, of course, I got my coffee links down below. I'm sorry I didn't get your joke, Claudette. It's me. Don't worry. It's not you. It's me. I got it now. I'm like, oh no, it's a thing. All right, Tim, let's keep hearing how you're going to become the public service announcement marketing tourist executive for Laughlin.
Water. And I'm telling you right now, if I were to leave here on the 28th after Memorial Weekend, I'd be a fool. Let me tell you why. I don't care about this heat. I love this heat. Today it's beautiful, actually. I don't know what it is. It doesn't feel hot at all to me. I'm used to it or something.
Oh, Tim's used to the heat. Listen to him. I'm just used to the heat over here. Just to let you know, everybody in the chat, we got a lot of very smart people in this chat today, Tim. I've got people who are pharmacists. I'm trained to be a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. We got some smart peeps in here. We got smart peeps, all sorts of different professions. These are professional people who've worked, in those prison jobs. Because Tim likes to tell us all we're in prison. Oh, he's going to be talking about it when he goes and covets the houses. But we just want to get a sense of, what he's up to the night before he disappeared and we had to put out that, PBA for a silver alert.
Be triple digits. It's people in Florida. I'm talking to people in Florida. They're talking about how they're sweating. Oh, it's getting hot. Summer's almost here. They're in their low 90s and they're sweating their tails off. So I would rather have triple digits, like low 100s here, and have it dry than to be 95 in Florida and feel like 103 and dripping wet. So I'm not going anywhere, folks. In fact, here's why. What do I have here? I've got everything. All right. I've got a private public pool at my disposal, right
thank
across the
you.
street.
Thank
These
you.
are all walking distance. I've
Okay.
got a private.
You gotta listen. Thank you, Blind Juice, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. You know what? I got the best cup of coffee here in my life. We got it. It says, I'm a nurse. What's your superpower? But we did. We made sure that we all came in here. And thank you for helping me buy one of the best cups of coffee I ever had in my life. So we've got it. We got the John close by too, just in case the coffee starts working. Nice big slurp there too. Thank you, Blind Views. I really appreciate that. That's so generous and kind. I really do. Especially since I'm a poor graduate student over here trying to get ready for my prison job. Oh, you're a retired prison warden here. You know. Yes, we do. We really appreciate it. We're a very good community over here because Tim has now become an honorary member of Girl World, crossing over from like the RV or just Tim gets to be with the girls now because he's reached that level of problematic YouTube behavior that he gets to come up with the big leagues now. But last desert to heart and dry heat. Yes, we appreciate it. Okay. Oh, we're all prison workers over here. Tim not, though. He's going to list out all the free stuff that he's being able to enjoy. Okay. Now, just be aware that Tim's very alone this holiday weekend, and he's feeling it. Okay. He's very envious. And there are some nice boats. Oh, and he's going to tell you all about it.
A public pool with music, chairs, free towels. I've got an excellent shower house right outside of my coach if I want to use theirs. Nobody's ever in there with dual sinks and everything. I've got the trash dumpster is right across the road when I want to empty my trash. To me, that's a big deal. I like it. I've got Planet Fitness right here in Bullhead City. I've got at least 5 to 6 golf courses that are pretty much.
Now, Planet Fitness is significant because Tim obviously does the majority of his showering and toileting at Planet Fitness. Just to let you guys know that there are a lot of people that obviously enjoy RV life, car life, and will have memberships to the Planet Fitness because they are very reasonably priced. They actually have really big, nice showers because my friend of mine's a member and I popped in there. And so he is definitely like always looking to where he can shower outside away from his RV camper. And he dumps his gray water everywhere. So Tim is terrible to like just people around him. Because Blind Views will let you know that he and others, Bertie, the Explorer, all of these folks will let you know that he just thinks it's okay just to open up his tank and just let the gray water out. Or he's even, thought about just cracking it and letting it pour out as he drives along the highway. So he's just, and now he's talking about he's close to the trash. And I mean, this is ladies. If you're looking for it, Tim's going to give you the high life, okay? Just listen to what he's got to offer.
Free as far as how much I'm paying with lunches and carts and ice and bottles of water and GPSs. And I'm loving golf. I got a brand new set of golf clubs that Johnny Vegas gave me. I've got, I don't know what I've got. I've got more. I've got the casinos here. I got dancing. I got live music Thursday through Sunday every week at the Aquarius. I got the Outback Steakhouse. I got prime rib room. I've got buffets. I've got a gun show they're doing today at the Tropicana.
The gray water is not the poop water, but it's like the washing that you would do your dishes, all of your hand washing. So it's kind of the dirty water, but not the sewage water. So it's still water that's been used that could potentially have food particles and all sorts of stuff. Soap. So that's what the gray water is. And he doesn't do things like he doesn't know how to fix stuff. So he just gets stuff new and then lets it kind of probably fall apart. He's kind of, because he really doesn't know. He has no skills. This is not a 65-year-old man who was, working a job and actually got some skill sets. No, this is a gentleman that probably spent most of his days not doing much of anything, get up, drink his coffee, do what he wanted to do, and then go out and work a couple hours and then come back. He's really, he's got no skill sets. But he always gets his hair looking good, though. I have to say, Tim will make sure that his hair looks tidy.
Hosting events. There was a car show here last week. When I did leave about 3 or 4 weeks ago, there was an air show here that they had. There's always things going on. But I have all of this stuff. My Planet Fitness. I got my Walmart. I've got Smith's Grocery. All these McDonald's and everything else I just mentioned a few seconds ago. And guess what? For $220 a week with full hookups and have all the pool and all the stuff that I've got for $880 a month, you don't think that's a bargain compared to $2,000 a month for an apartment? And also, the minute I hook up,
$880 a month, ladies. Isn't that He's telling us, he's convincing us all that not having a roof or a home or anything that's built equity over time, why would you want to do something that dumb? Shoot. Why did I hold on to this condo here in Virginia Beach for 20 years that I paid $82,500 for, and now is probably closer to $300,000? Why in the world would I do that? Sounds dumb to me. I could be living in an RV park for $880 a month, dumping my gray water and living the high life. With all this, the Outback Steakhouse nearby and all this free stuff. Because here at the Virginia Beach oceanfront in the summertime, I don't get to hear fireworks like last night, or there won't be any free concerts to celebrate all veterans here this Memorial weekend. Oh, no, we don't have anything like that here in Virginia Beach. We're just a resort city. We don't have anything. Just Laughlin. Laughlin is the only place with all of this stuff. $880 a month, ladies. $880 a month.
to this little thing right here. I don't know what happened. The video got turned off, so I got to finish my video. I was trying to tell you, when I hook up to this thing right here, this ball, and I put that camper on there, you don't know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to have to feed this hole here. It's going to cost hundreds of dollars instead of spending money right here in my my rent and stay right where I'm at instead of feeding that thing. And I can go and do all I'm doing here. So you deduct what I would be saving from not driving around 8.5 miles per gallon, and I'm definitely crushing it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no. Now we got foodie. No. Hold on. It's always like, it's amazing what will come up on my channel next. Okay. Let me stop sharing. Not that it's not funny to see people going against food. Okay. Okay, Tim. All right. This is the fun of StreamYard for a minute. Let me get rid of that. He talks so loud. Yeah, he said, yeah, but he wasn't quite the salesman for the car. He was supposedly just working in the lot. Skill set. Professional begging on geese. Yes, pretty much. So that's kind of where he was. It's a little bit about him. So stop posting. Oh, stop posting links. I'm sorry. Nightbot. I don't know. Yeah, Gray Water has his hair shavings, mucus, and toothpaste. Lovely. Thank you for. Yes, it's got all of his, all of that. And his coffee grounds and everything else that he got going on. Just whatever going on when he doesn't have his pants on. Because that's, I was watching Tim and he was problematic. And then I checked back. I was like, oh, darn. The dude filmed himself a video for his YouTube upload. And he's in his birthday suit. And now he's panned across his reflective refrigerator. And now we see everything. And then he told us all that we're all haters because we, had the audacity to, comment on it. So anyway, all right, let me bring him back to, he disappeared yesterday for quite an extended period of time, because Tim, if you see, he constantly, it's Yeah, it's kind of a sad life, but he really promotes it. He washed cars and not sold them when he worked. That's what I'm hearing, Jerry. That's what I'm hearing. That he just washed the cars. He wasn't even the salesman because he was coming out of high school. Yeah, he kind of lives in an RV, which is not, unheard of here. I had my relatives who were very well off, bought, when they sold their business, bought the most beautiful RV and traveled. So it's not unusual here in the US for people to live in it. It's just the way that he then degrades anybody else who isn't doing what he does. That's where because nobody does it as good as Tim. You're going to see it. He loves to talk and film. So if you start to watch this, you can probably understand more about my Tim parody from the other day, and why I kind of made fun of him with the crushing it for coffee, because he's always crushing it, and that's kind of how he started, and people were, kind of rooting for him. I think at the beginning, a lot of people liked his charisma, but he definitely is main character. And then as his videos came along and we got to see his interactions with his girlfriend, Tammy, who I don't want to get into it, but I think they were friends, but maybe her spouse was still living at the time. I'm not sure. I don't try to get into too much of into the weeds of that type of drama, but there's interesting things going on. Tim has no SEO score over here, but he's had 18.2 million views to his channel. He's had a big fall in his sub count, from what I understand, but he will tell you he has 90,000 subscribers, 80,000 subscribers, 99,000 souls watching him today, because he was close to 100K. And as you think Booty was desperate to get that 100K plaque, meet Tim. Meet Tim and his desperation to reach 100K. It's a whole thing. All right, Tim, let's get you over to my StreamYard. I'm going to share Tim now, and we're going to take a look. Tammy's was friends with his wife, Taboo. Oh, yes, she was. I know. We appreciate Blind Views coming in. Did Blind Views have to head on out? Oh, well, Blind Views, we're so glad you stopped in. Thank you for the super chat. I just appreciate the support. Make sure you check out Blind Views channel, Atomic Sage. There's a whole bunch of other creators in the Tim's world, and we certainly appreciate you stopping in today. I feel honored because Blind Views is a great channel. So thank you. I told you, it's a really nice community over in the Timosphere. Maybe not Tim, but the rest of us, who he calls haters, are really nice people and a great group. So I always say we really enjoy them. Yes, we do have memberships. Hey, Angela Glass, come on in. Tammy was his friend's wife. Oh, right. Yeah, it's a whole story. Can't wait to see oh yeah, I was gonna put a poll out. Hey, Kim, come on in. We're doing great today. We are just looking at a gentleman who's problematic, actually, because we're sharing the gender love over here in my corner, because we don't want to feel like the guys don't get a chance to get, looked at too. So let me bring him up. Let me share this screen. We're gonna get into this video where he's this was from yesterday morning. He hasn't actually posted anything out today. I guess he's getting tired from the golf, maybe. So usually by now, Tim would have put out a early morning coffee chat video, but he hasn't. So I guess he is getting worn out on these golf courses, because he didn't come in his coffee morning chat until 7 o'clock in the evening, which was still even late. That was 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Would have been late even for out in where he is. Look at that pretty boat. So just listen to Tim and how he complains about everybody else's plans for Memorial Day.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota to you. Check it out. There's Nevada on the other side of the river. I'm heading to the golf course, but first, I got to go get the best cup of coffee I've ever drank in my life. I'm going to Human Bean. I need extra strength kick me in the butt coffee right now. You have no idea how wore out I'm feeling from playing golf 4 or 5 days in a row. I think.
Oh my goodness, Gen XX. That is a big piece of tea. He left school at 16 because he got married to a teacher who was many years older. OMG. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is why you never want to go on the internet. Because somebody is going to find out what you did 50 years ago. Oh, Tim is here. He's watching the live feed. Oh, Tim, come on in, buddy. Come on in, Tim. All are welcome here, mate. I just saw what Tim said in your stream a few minutes ago. He's bragging about paying $8.80 a month for the privilege of being homeless. Oh, see? This is what happens, guys. You got to know who to start to watch because they're going to watch you back. And Tim is watching us. That's always interesting. Well, Tim, come join us. Happy mornings to you. I got my coffee. I have to top up on my coffee while Tim continues.
This is my 5th day, actually. And I woke up this morning just absolutely. Well, I had 1 cup of coffee that was already in my pot from yesterday, some leftover. I was so tired, I didn't even want to make any. I definitely didn't make any breakfast, bacon and eggs. I should eat something. I had a, what do you call one of them? Power bars, more of a candy bar than anything else. It's got chocolate and Rice Krispies or something on it that I bought at Smith's. But playing a different course today, folks. Going down here. It's going to be down near the courses that I've been playing in Fort Mojave. It's down that way. I'll make a video for you guys. But right now, I'm trying to get to Human Bean. This is the area right here where I get pretty good. It seems like T-Mobile signal. I'll park over where that semi is right there. Does a good job.
So
anywhere in this area is.
Just to give you a heads up, Tim is a fan of a hotspot and using his phone as a personal hotspot in order to get all his wireless services, which is, when you're traveling and you want to hook up, say, your laptop to do work, you could use I use my phone as a personal hotspot, not to get on public Wi-Fi if I'm out doing anything. When I traveled as an RN, I obviously used it so I could have internet in my home without having to, try to connect with an internet provider because you're only at short-term places. So that can be, a lot to try to set up new bills. And I also learned, Tim, that you can get these little mobile hotspots. You can purchase, $30 a month or whatever it is, T-Mobile. And I used to have one that you actually connect it in your car. And there's a certain thing you actually can hook it underneath your car seat or wherever it is required, wherever the little space is in the car. And your car becomes the mobile hotspot. So you could actually set your vehicle up to be more technically savvy since you're such a road traveler. But that probably would be $35 more than Tim would want to spend. And look, we got a Motel 6 right here for Chantel. Ready to go. Look, Chantel, it's got free Wi-Fi, pool, public laundromat. It's waiting for you, Chantel, right over here in Laughlin. Tim will tell you all about it.
It's actually good. As long as you get away from those big casinos.
Oh.
And I got one of my new get-ups on today. I definitely am losing weight because usually everything you buy at Walmart runs small. So my 36 shorts, they're swimming on me. I'm pretty sure they will shrink with the wash and dry. Now the shirt, it's mostly polyester. It fits pretty good. So if it shrinks at all, that'll be all right. If it doesn't shrink anything, that'll be fine.
And if you want, ladies, you can watch Tim, go shopping by himself at Walmart too, because he provided a 21-minute video where he touches every item of clothing. He's a toucher. He's a toucher. Okay. So, Tim's talking about, just talking, because that's what he does. He just rambles and talks, kind of like me at the moment.
Fine. But the shorts are kind of roomy. And I know if I bought 34s or they shrunk any, it'd be, no good. So I always wash stuff. As soon as I buy it, I'll put it in the wash. I learned that trick a long time ago. Here it is. Here it is. The best cup of coffee you ever had in your life. Let me get in there. Put that goodness in me. So this is what these places look like. They're just a little building, and they're dotted about every few miles all the way down to Fort Mojave. And they are making money, man.
Listen to Tim. They're making money. They got these things everywhere. So for Tim, when he started his channel, supposedly, he was a minimalist living in his wolf pup camper, enjoying his early retirement at 62 and getting his Social Security because there was special rules that nobody else knew, but Tim knew, that would allow him to be able to work a side hustle at Publix, selling, slinging chicken nuggets and crackers as for samples, and still collecting his $1,700 a month in Social Security, which I think he was excited because there was been a raise in the Social Security. So he got more of his spousal benefit. And so, yes, how broke is he? Well, he doesn't own a home. He has no stocks. He'll let you know. He has no stock investments. He doesn't have a 401. Yes, we know it's a 401k, but he just calls it a 401. He doesn't own a home. He still has, he took out a very, and he doesn't like to talk about this, but supposedly he got a very substantial EIDL loan because he had to shut his business down during COVID, which was his business where he went around with the oil change coupon books, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Those of you who know the lore of Tim better. And so, yeah, he ended up then applying. He became unemployed. Remember, he was barely working as it was. So at the start, he could not believe he could get so rich from the pandemic. He got the unemployment for Florida State, and then he got obviously the federal. So he got an extra $600. So he's getting like $900 a week, and he got that. And there's a couple of channels that actually add up. I think it's LOL olive oil or something. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Yeah, 401 no cowboy steaks. And he literally was able to get all this money during COVID, like when the rest of us in healthcare were working, and I was having friends that I was taking home because I was paying taxes probably more than I was in the week sometimes. And I was a nurse working at the time. Obviously, I couldn't have applied for unemployment because how was I going to tell the government that I couldn't work as a registered nurse? Obviously, I had to work. There was no getting out of that. They were begging us guys to come out of even retirement to go to work. So, as other people weren't able to work, those of us in healthcare were working. Yeah, Social Security is a supplement. Invest for his retirement. Oh no, Bella, that's what people do in their prison jobs. that's yes, no, I know, but that makes way too much sense. It's better to, go, 4 or 5 years without health insurance and wait till Medicare starts up. Because that's what he did. He had at one point where he had some skin infection going on something going on before his Medicare started. And he was nervous about this skin lesion that he was having, and he had to go off and do all this stuff. Barium exposure. Thank you, Jimmy Cuba. Barium exposure gives a great little video. If we have time, maybe I'll bring it up, that explains very much all the money that Tim has received through EIDL loans, which were almost $60,000. So will tell you that he has no money owed, that he is debt free, but he has an outstanding government loan of 30 years that he has to pay, he said in one video, $300 a month on. So all these things that he says are paid off, no, he has like literally a mortgage on appreciating assets, i.e. an RV and a car. neither of which anybody would think are solid investments, who have been doing anything. Oh, it's Darling. It's Darling. Okay. Thank you, Barium Exposure. Thank you. Oh, Jimmy Cooper was saying hi to you. Thank you, Barium Exposure. Thank you for clarifying. It's Darling. There's another channel called Darling, and she's the one. So if we have time, maybe we'll bring it up real quick at the end. Miss Vicky's here. Hey, Miss Vicky, come on in. Miss Vicky is another. If you want to check out her channel too, who also exposes Tim for his just problematic behaviors on YouTube. See, we got a great community. Very depreciating assets. Yeah, hey everyone. Hey Miss Vicky, come on in. If anybody who's in my mods wants to drop down links for Barium Exposure, thank you. You got Barium's channel. Thank you. For Miss Vicky's channel too. Pat or Bella, or I know you guys are quick on this stuff. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna go. There's Darling's channel. Thank you, Pat Ray. We definitely want to highlight Miss Vicky's channel too, and make sure that we get people over there, because she does a good job following up with Tim and his problems that he's causing on YouTube. The crew is strong. Yes, it's a great crew. I really enjoy this crew. So I'm loving this crew. I'm glad that we're mixing my crew with this crew, and we're just getting a whole new, just looking, because we need to get this all out. We've got our problems over in our community with our people, but this one right here in the U.S. doing it. And my concern is he's coming for the ladies. He's coming for the ladies. Yeah, there we go. Yes, absolutely. Go check out Miss Vicky too. Check them all out. Tim, we're checking you out, mate. We're watching your quality here. This is your favorite place to ever, so sweet and welcoming. I'm so glad. Absolutely. We don't want to feel lonely. We don't want Tim to be lonely either. But his loneliness is pretty apparent. I hate to say it. And his jealousy and his envy. He's very envious. For a man who talks Christian devotions, he has a lot of envy. Okay. So he's at the best coffee place in the world, but he's, listen to just listen.
Because this is the best cup of coffee you'll ever drink in your life. And you can't miss them either. They're the same brown and chocolate color, for coffee beans. And I love the name, Human Bean. She was so nice. I told her what I
was going to say, if you want to chat, we got Birdie here. If you want to put in a link for Birdie the Explorer's channel, because Birdie is an RV from that community. And he also calls out a lot of Tim's problems, especially, the way he RVs. And so if you want to help me get links to Birdie's channel, that would be great. And let just everybody know about all these different wonderful YouTube channels. There's Atomic Sage. Thank you. Pat raised us on this quick, man. Yep. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can buy me a cup of coffee instead of Tim this morning if you like, and support me. Same old conversations every day. Yep. It's just like, what are you doing, mate? I'm just trying to hear for new pearls of wisdom.
She's gonna hook me up. I got my app here. I'll scan to get points. Maybe I'll get a free cup one day. Oh my gosh. It took me like 2 miles to find a place to pull over to the right to talk to you guys about my experience. Gosh. This place is
2 miles? My goodness, Tim. 2 miles? That must have killed you. You couldn't have just talked and filmed at the same time? Wow. He must be frustrated, because that's unusual for Tim to wait 2 miles before he, stops and chats. Let's hear what Tim's experience was. Let's see if he decided to buy somebody a cup of coffee at the Human Bean, because he likes to do it at McDonald's.
Going off the chain with Memorial Day. Here's the delicious coffee. I told her, and look, you get those little espresso beans on the top. Dadgum, that's hot. Burning my face.
There was not a gas station nearby for him to park himself in front of a gas pump for 30 minutes and drop a whole YouTube video. I could not believe I was commenting on one of his things one day, and it took me like 10 minutes, and I suddenly looked, I was like, This man's been in front of a gas pump for 30, like this whole time. What are you doing? Why are you sitting at literally a gas pump and filming a 20-some minute YouTube video? WTF? What are you thinking? So, I mean, Tim is main character syndrome all day long.
Fingers. All right, so I got my beans off there and ate them. They were melted. That is a hot cup of coffee. Bullhead City has got nothing but trailers of jet skis and boats. Everybody's got one. They're going up and down the road, left and right. Last night, there was a lot of noise right outside my camper. Not in a bad way. You know, people.
I don't know, Bella. We're trying to make his stuff fun. Yeah, this is what he does. This literally, yes. My vlog was probably more interesting than his. This is what he does. He gets into his car and he calls this quality content. This is his quality content. Look, he's got half of his belongings sitting in the back of the car. He's got like chairs. I mean, he's got his RV. Why are you already say the gas is expensive in the truck. So why are you putting more weight of things to carry in the truck? Wait till he starts coveting houses.
People were coming in, man. They were coming in with their razors side by side. Look at this coffee. Their boats, their jet skis. They're back. They're disconnecting. They're back.
I cannot believe this truck is literally brand new. And look at all the Jesus stuff he's got sitting in there. Just on the seat next to him. Get a storage or something, Tim. What are you? Why have you got chairs and this? Got like 3 cowboy hats because he's Cowboy Tim now. He goes through these different orgs. Now he's Golfer Tim. So we're going to get Titleist hats and stuff now.
Back in their trailers in their motorhomes. They were hooking up all their stuff, putting their jacks down. You know, after work, right? Friday.
Very exposure. I certainly do appreciate that super chat. And you know what? If Tim is watching, you know he's gonna get upset that you sent me a super truck stop hats. He says, what a struggle. You wanted to see him spill that hot coffee cup in his lap. Oh, you can tell that this truck smells really bad. Full of junk. Yeah, Bear Exposure, we appreciate that. And we're going to send more people over to your channel too, because I love watching your stuff too. They do some great clips of getting everything together. Miss Vicky says those are his different personalities. Each hat he wears takes on a different persona. Oh, yeah. And as somebody who is studying to do psychiatric mental health nursing as a nurse practitioner, he is fascinating to me because he does literally puts on a different hat and takes on a different persona. It's wild. And here we got some Tim finances here. If you just want to know, he really thought he out of his retirement. Yeah, he's got $1,700. He's got to spend $300 on this EIDL loan that he doesn't want anybody to know about. Okay, and it's a lot of money. I mean, his EIDL loan is a lot of money. It's like close to a college degree. He's got an $880 rent. That's for his RV parking. And that gives him $500 a month for food, gas, insurance, phone, cable. And then obviously what he thought he was doing was when he was getting his YouTube channel, he would be making, these videos and he would be getting hundreds of thousands of views. Some of them, they started to taper off over time. He's still throwing out the hashtag, retire at 62, SSI at 62. And trying to get that viral because, you get one good YouTube video, you suddenly see you've made all of this money, and it comes, as an analytic. And so you can see it. You can see every day, like how much your videos are making. You can look and there's so many different analytics that you can look at in regard to monetization. And he likes to joke that all the people that comment on him and take the time to comment on his content. Oh my goodness, Lee, thank you for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you guys. I am so glad to be merging these communities together and bringing Tim to a larger audience and letting people know just kind of like the personality types that seem to be very charismatic, will bring people kind of into their cult of personality. But Tim is very manipulative with his audience. We're not seeing it necessarily in this video, but there's others I've commented on, and he's very wants to like control what information they see, because he doesn't want them to see this type of information where we're potentially analyzing his problematic behaviors and things that we would not recommend as adults in following this advice. Each to their own, but he literally says to other people, you need to live my way. My way is the right way and only my way. And anybody else who's doing anything differently than what I'm doing here is not living their best life. Not living the best life. Yeah. Yeah, he wears a mask. He changes them on the fly and he's getting them mixed up. Yeah, so he's got his, devotional Christian persona, where he reads his devotionals. He doesn't even own a Bible, okay? But suddenly he was wanting to be like leading Christian devotionals as videos. And I guess, a lot of those videos didn't pop off. So he's kind of moved away from that. He did another one after he got caught with his pants off, literally in his birthday suit. So, because his real character comes out in videos like that, Here's a guy very comfortably standing naked in his RV in a public parking lot, door wide open, filming the parking lot. And he was naked because he pans the camera, his phone around, and he catches himself in his birthday suit and he kind of lingers on it like he was admiring his body almost. And then he kind of carries on. But I mean, he literally had it there. I mean, he looked like he was stood in front of a mirror taking a picture to send to a girl, through, hey, look at me. Here's my naked picture. Send me a picture of your butt, I mean, he literally, it was, and then the fact that he didn't even think that there was a problem with filming his content in the nude or letting his neighbors see everything hanging out. He then decided to post that video and then got upset that we all saw it. Yeah, a little bit of a predator there. Yep. So can we say it's a dissociative hat disorder? I think we can, Kim. I think we can. Oh, yeah, all the newbies here that haven't been exposed to Tim's buffoonery. Thank you. Please do not subscribe to him. We watch the comedy parody channels to see the train wreck without increasing Tim's sub count. Thank you, Gigi. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And he's going to be brought into the world of commentary now because, I find Tim fascinating. I recall he regretted having only bought the Jack Daniels because he usually dollar cost averages. Yeah, he's like foodies. Yeah, he is. He should be older and wiser, but he's not. All right, Tim, tell us about what happened at the coffee place. Oh, look where he's at. Oh, could it be any better? Tim's in front of a title loan place. Does he ever look to see what's in his background when he goes to film? He's like right in front of the check into cash title loans. Are you trying to get a title loan on this vehicle, Tim? Because your YouTube coin drying up? Is that why we're here?
Charge that they got over here from California or wherever they're coming from. Oh my gosh. And folks, this coffee right here will light you up. This is regular coffee. They got all kinds in lattes and all that. But this is the best cup of coffee I ever drank in my life. Wow, that's good. Human.
Doesn't matter. He could be on Mars getting a cup of coffee. It would be the best cup of coffee of his life. Does not have any discernment on coffee. McDonald's, human being, coffee, sitting in a restaurant in Colombia. Wouldn't matter. Still the best cup of coffee in the world. Could be 7-Eleven. Loves coffee, from the gas station. Doesn't matter.
Human being.
All the same.
I'll show you the little lid here.
Oh.
Human being. Whoever thought of that was a genius.
That's going to be interesting to see the bots get cleared out, because we have other creators that we know have certainly paid for subs and all sorts of stuff. So that will be interesting to see how some of these creators' sub counts are affected. Foodie.
So much so they got, I don't know, at least 4 or 5 of these up and down the road here.
Yeah.
Oh, get me going. I need it so bad. I got to drop some Advil too. Woo. So I booked on golfnow.com. I got it's the exact same price as booking it at the calling them up, I guess, and booking it, because there was like no difference in the price. So I'm going to tee off at 10:30 local time. That'd be 1 o'clock over there on the East Coast, 1:30. I've got an hour and 15 minutes till I tee off. I got a 30-minute drive, just under. So I'm ahead of schedule. I'm going to have this coffee. I need to find a little choke and puke around here, maybe Burger King, and grab some kind of breakfast sandwich and put in my belly, as that food will make me wake up, and this coffee for sure. I never felt so lazy. I normally hit the ground.
We got Tim just like burping away as he's explaining the coffee and how he's going to go over and get a Burger King breakfast. Because Tim usually has a breakfast of champions that involves 4 eggs, horribly fried and destroyed, so very crispy bacon and some tomato slices. That's usually his breakfast of champions. And then he'll finish off the night with a Cowboy steak. So a lot of vegetables in there. Very healthy diet. I always say, I hope he's on a statin medication. Oh, geez. Keep going, Tim. We're going to see him covet the neighborhood soon. So he's just, telling us about how exciting. Ladies, aren't you wishing you were just hanging out in Tim's truck with him?
Running. But man, this morning, Johnny Vegas called. He said he was having the same issue. I know somebody else this morning that got up and crushed it. Walked 4 miles, got 10,000 steps in already in Florida. She's crushing it. And I like my new shirt. It's a large. It feels very roomy. I don't have any problem swinging. Maybe I need to eat some more Mexican food, man. These 36s I bought, these shorts.
All right. Okay. Tim, we don't want to hear any more about your swinging, mate. Okay? We already saw you naked in the camper van. Nobody wants to know about you swinging. No one. And I don't know what derogatory thing you now want to say about Mexico. So just caution, Tim. Okay? Caution. You are in the southern border states at the moment.
Are swimming on me. They'll shrink. And no, I don't need Mexican food. I'm just kidding. Woo! Please, Lord. Oh, I forgot to tell you the big news. Oh my gosh. That's why I couldn't wait to pull over. Show you guys the coffee and talk. I'm out of it, man. I got to get going. Got to get the brain going. So here's the big news. You're going to say, what is it? It's going to be a letdown for you. I told you I had the app. So I got up to the window. That's hot coffee. Gosh, that's hot. Even with that thing on there. I said, I got the app here, and I brought it up. And I said, what do I do? What do I push here? And there was some different, things on there. And she says, well, push on that redeem your rewards or use rewards or
Yes.
see if you
Have
have
a
any
good one,
rewards.
Lee. Thank you for the super.
I said, all right. And then I pushed it and a little QR code came up that she took her little gun and beeped it. She says, would you like to use your free coffee? I said, free coffee?
Oh, yeah.
So you don't know who you're talking to. Nah, I'll let it lay there. Maybe there'll be 2 tomorrow. I said, heck yeah. See there? See that boat? There's a Safeway here. They're trying to get their ice, their beer, their snacks, their chips. They're coming in, man. Now, unlike Florida with the center console fishing boat, which is prevalent, it's like the only stop.
So Tim will tell everybody you don't need anything, okay? But then he'll covet that boat that just went past. That was a beautiful looking boat. And then he's like, oh, they're off to the Safeway. They're going to get this, this, and this, you know? Dang, those people are going to be spending money, you know? Because Tim getting excited, you know, and I would be too, because I'm kind of cheap too, that he got, you know, a free cup of coffee. So he wasn't going to pay anything back to anybody. He doesn't do it at the human being because they're not inexpensive coffees. But when it comes to, you know, McDonald's, he'll gift that stuff and expect, you know, people to be grateful that he did it.
Boat besides a yacht you'll ever see down there. All of these are millions of jet skis for one day. But yeah, last night, you know, it's Friday yesterday. They get out of their prison jobs. They're going to be on a little
oh, I know.
Work release, a little parole for 4 days. And this is what people do.
I wondered, Tim is Vicky, when he suddenly was gone yesterday, because we're not used to Tim being gone for more than 5 hours from releasing a video, that he had gotten finally his YouTube strike for the content with the accidental flash, that there had been enough reports that maybe they had taken his channel down. But it seems like no, he came back. We found him. But I was putting out for a banned alert there because, you know, Tim, where would Tim tell us?
Got the ball. They have got the ball and chain. The key to the shackle from their ankle has been unlocked. The warden has set them free. Now they're just crushing it. They're like, we ain't going to waste a second. As soon as I get out of this job, if I can get out of here an hour early, I will. Load it up. Have the boat ready. Get it all ready. And then let's drive. And let's get there. Let's check into the room we got booked. And then the next morning, let's get up as early as we can. Probably have to work in their prison job all week. They were tired this morning too. But they got enthusiasm. They're excited. They're ready to get their sunburn on. They're ready to crank up that gas, that big V8 motor and burn some gas.
Listen to this, okay? Yeah, Dr. Falcone, that's why he was mentioning his walking through the casino and being concerned about the music being a copyright issue. And then he's like, got the video. I was like, you know, before you publish your video, they do a copyright check. And, you know, you just wait and make sure they go to the copyright and find no issues with your video. And then you publish. You don't publish before they've done all that copyright check. But he was freaking out about it the other day. He was talking about it in the casino. He here is now talking about everybody being released from their prison jobs for the Memorial Day weekend, because Tim doesn't seem to realize that there are all types of jobs and people have all types of schedules, especially in healthcare. You could do 312s and then be off for 9 days. I mean, it's, you know, and have a whole, and not even be paid holiday. You just between your shifts. So, but he just assumes that everybody works a 9 to 5. They only have weekends off. There's nothing else that happens. You're tied down your whole life until you hit your 70s. And then you finally get a chance to enjoy it. There's no enjoyment in life between that time from leaving school, entering the job market, and then retiring. You'll see him covet all of these things that people get because of work. So this is where he is so problematic, because he tries to sell people this idea that he's a minimalist. That was how he started out. It's one of his hacks. And then he just bitches and moans about all the people that have literally probably been watching his channel, supporting his channel, and sending money from those prison jobs to buy him coffee. Okay? So he is very angry, and it's very, very much underneath the surface with everything you hear him criticize that he wishes, in my professional, personal opinion, he had. Keep going, Tim.
Through that carburetor. They're ready to get out there on a tube and pull or ski or whatever.
Right.
I don't know about skiing. That water's 55 degrees year round.
I mean, and I don't ever want to make people feel shamed. And I think, but what he tries to do is shame people who've actually spent their life working. And that to me is like, because that's not what he did. And now I think he's waking up, and he found this way to make easier money with getting, this YouTube and telling people how you could live this way. But then people started to expose where his lies were and how he was living this way, like exposing his loans, exposing the money that he's borrowed in order to supposedly get all of these things that he got in retirement. It's like, you need to explain how you get $1,700 a month in retirement, but now you have a Flagstaff RV and a Tundra truck. Like, who's loaning you the money on $1,700 a month SSI for a Tundra truck and an RV? So he obviously made money with his YouTube, probably quite a lot. I hope he's got ready for his taxes, because you got to pay taxes on that stuff. But all that money, but he got these things through a loan. So I don't know. He's very problematic, but just listen to how angry under the surface he is about people's prison jobs.
Man, that's good coffee. So I'm enjoying myself. They are enjoying themselves. All of them are enjoying themselves out here in this
wow.
vacation Mecca land of casinos and Colorado River and mountains and boating and sunshine. There is a cloud. There won't be a cloud. They don't make clouds for this part of the country. This is Arizona, baby. Cowboy country. Let me tell you something. Here's a guy that's a minimalist. He's got a Toyota Tacoma and his one ski. A lot of these people you see around here, they're pulling 2 and 4 of them. They got one for the whole family. How much money? Those are like 20 grand a piece, 15 grand a piece. These people throw down on their toys. Those razors, those side-by-sides, I haven't seen too many of them because they're not, they can come over here and get ice and stuff, but they probably unload them. They're just here in their car, and then they have it back where they're at. And a lot of these places around here, you can just drive it right on the road. You can just go right to off-roading. Check out this Mexican restaurant. Looks pretty good. Everything is alive here in Bullhead City this weekend. It's kind of like being in, I don't know, in Mexico somewhere.
Because that's what he does, Bella. He literally drives around and goes to like different stores and stuff and coffee. And he obviously, after the coffee, he needs to be real near a retail establishment. As we know in healthcare, what coffee can do to the bowels. And he eats a lot of steak and meat. I'm just saying. And he doesn't have his own private, he's got that RV toilet. But the rest of the time, he's using public. Just think about that. That Planet Fitness. Oh, dear. I don't even want to think about it. Please don't make me think about it. Oh, God, my coffee.
These stores are just they're just bringing it in today. Yeah. How exciting. And like I told you the other day in the video, they're all bringing it to me. I was already sitting here, grandfathered in. Yeah, they got me for a little higher rate, but it's negligible. And now all these people are piling in. And
this is a complaint. Tim complained about his RV rate. They got me for a little bit of a higher rate. And somebody was mentioning that he probably didn't realize they might tag on a resort fee if he was staying at the RV park at the Tropicana in Laughlin. He's like in casino parking lots. He's going Like, because in my town, we don't have any type of establishments that have an O'Reilly's. I mean, just down the road, okay, I hate to say it, there's a shopping center probably not even half a mile from my house that has an O'Reilly's Auto Parts, a Dollar Tree in it, a Chinese food establishment, probably a title loan company, and a gym, like a One Life Fitness or something. So, I mean, like Tim, this is everywhere in America, mate. You're not showing us anything. You're just driving around the parking lot looking envious as people get ready to take their jet skis and boats to the water and their trucks. And you're just rolling around in your truck with all your stuff in the back of it. So people are trying to figure out if you live in it.
They're coming to me to show me all their toys and how they're going to have fun. I'm going to put my seatbelt on. Wow, it's going to take me a while to make a right out of here. Look at them piling in. Give me some ice. Give me some stuff at the Safeway. Look at the parking lot there at Safeway. Well, let's turn the phone around and look at this neighborhood over here. I love this neighborhood. In fact, if we had time, it's 20 minutes till 10.
Yeah.
I might just do that right now. Let me see if I can get down in there and show you guys a little bit of what's down in here close to the river. There's a little medical business plaza right here. Oh, is it going to be security? Let's see. I'm having to hold the phone on the selfie stick because if I put it up on this thing, the heat will cause my phone to, in fact, you know what? I got to charge it up because if I get to the golf course and I don't have any battery for my phone, that's not going to be cool. Plug it in here.
Yep.
All right.
So it's very interesting to see that, you know, he's on his way to this golf course and then he decides to go into this brand new neighborhood. And, you know, obviously most of us, it's obviously interesting. I find it fascinating to look at the architecture of other parts of the country. But Tim is, you have to listen to how Tim presents it, what he taught, remember, everyone's at their prison jobs, what he means by, just anybody who works is basically in a prison job. He doesn't seem to understand that there's lots of us who enjoy our work.
What do we got here? Let's go right here down in the middle of it. Hey, right there already reduced for sale. Back out a little bit for you guys. All right, we're going down Country Club. What's CV? Country Club CV Circle. What? I don't know. So they're all zero lot line residents. There's no real big property lots. Look, they're building everywhere. Oh man, this is nice. People are living large, folks. Oh, it's a cul-de-sac, a dead end. That was a mistake. All right, let's turn around. Wow, look at the one on the water there. He's probably got a water.
It's, and Tim, but he gets so upset. Everyone's at their prison jobs. Like I said, they get their 401s. We obviously know it's 401k. They have assets, investments, stocks, all this stuff. They were in prison all week to have to come out and get released only at the weekends and certain times of holiday, because that's just the way that everybody works in the United States. There's no difference in how people perform their jobs or work schedules. Nope. All locked away for 40 hours a week. That's what we do. But just watch. He's so envious. He's so envious. He's no credit. He's got nothing that would enable any lender to want to lend him anything for a mortgage. And obviously, Google AdSense is not going to pass as a form of money. You try to go get a loan, tell somebody that you're a YouTuber and you've got Google AdSense coming direct deposit every month. They're gonna look at you like you're talking whack a doodle. Okay. So he can't really get any loans based on any YouTube income at this time. It's not a recognized profession. Surprisingly. Even though I am a professional YouTuber, as we know. But yeah, he's gonna just covet these houses. I love these like ceramic tall roofs. Sorry, it does remind me of when I lived in Mexico.
Water view, you got a big old crib. Let's go down here just a few more minutes. There's a boat in his driveway. It's a jet ski, I think. His garage. These guys are putting a new roof on.
He's getting on more skin cancers. Oh God.
I love the roofs. I love them.
Oh.
Every home is the.
And I've noticed that about his skin too, because obviously I used to work at a plastic surgeon's office when I first started my work as a, trainee nurse. And I would stand there with the little sample, like the little lab cup, and we get the little bits of the, oh gosh, I can't even remember the terms now. We'd get the, oh gosh, my words, I'm losing my words like Tim today. Biopsies. Thank you, Ray. We get like small little, parts of whatever area of the skin we were checking and do a little piece to do a biopsy to make sure it wasn't any type of cancer. But yeah, he definitely looks like he's had way too much sun exposure. And I don't even think he talks about putting sunscreen. And he goes on these golf courses and I never see him wearing a baseball hat. Like he doesn't do seemingly, he had that cowboy hat because he was being cowboy Tim. He's got 3 cowboy hats, as you can see. Can't have just 1 cowboy hat. He's got 3 cowboy hats. What a minimalist. And he's, never actually looking like he's protecting himself from the sun at all. And he's had issues with his skin and he's had to see dermatologists and he's fair skinned and, that's never good. I'll be getting annual skin checks, Tim, but I think you just got your health insurance.
The perfect size. This should be the homes of America. You do not see that crazy, ostentatious, off the charts, can't even afford to look at it, houses like they have in, it's on a golf course or a park in Florida. Stupid money.
I do call it
Here's
that.
those Mexican style houses I like, the little square. Here's another one for sale right here. Is that just a park back there, or is that a golf course?
Yeah, that's true.
Here's another lot.
I forgot.
They're all.
I forgot Tim only has 8 years to live because every male in the United States expires by the age of 72, 73. So, that's why you got to get living at 62. That's it, Tim. He's just like, he's house shopping with no money. Tim is fantasizing to himself. And I'm just, this is just my opinion only, I can just sense this as somebody who's not really got a lot, has met people through YouTube that he's visited who he has gone with his, channel and crushing it. And he's seen people who really do crush it. And I think he's starting to, before maybe, he was happy with his mooching off the ladies or whatever. But now that he actually had his own taste of a little financial independence, he's got all these money dreams now. Not that he's going to say, because he's going to show he's envious and all of these people were terrible for what they did, working and getting all these assets. But he's definitely a man of envy.
Oh, kind of new, right? This is sort of I'm not even really deep down there close to the river.
Oh, what does the next say?
I wonder if this is, let's go down here. I got to get to the golf course.
That's right.
I'm messing around. Oh, we're getting to some high dollar, 2 stories. Look at this one. 3-car garage. Oh, it is on a golf course. For sure. What golf course is this? Look at that house. That's too big. That's a big ranch right there on the fairway. These are big. And then
yeah.
Look down here at the end, the view houses. The houses with the view. Oh, now we're getting into those Florida styles. Look at that one right there. It just keeps going. From the garage, it just keeps going all the way back to that. Holy moly. Wow. I'm waiting for this truck to come by. Wow, man. Is that the river back there? It's just a desert in the backyard.
He's like, gosh, look at these. You know, he sounds like I used to sound when I was 20 and, you know, out of university and just starting my career or something like, you know, and I went and saw some, you know, houses being built with a boyfriend of mine. We went and looked at houses, you know, but I was like 20, you know. Now I went to look at houses recently, you know, and, it was, you know, I can probably say I was disappointed to see what I could pay for cash outright. But yeah, I actually have assets, and so I can think about, you know, moving into a new place at some point. But Tim is just fantasy shopping, like, look at these people. And look at how big that house is. OMG. I mean, this is a 65-year-old man coveting other people's possessions and belongings, their trucks, their homes, being on a golf course. All the things that he's never going to achieve unless he gets a sugar mama. He got to get himself a rich woman to be able to put himself in this lifestyle. That's why he presents himself like looking all like, you know, cute with his hair and stuff, I guess.
Look at these big old houses. So, looks like I found the high dollar people. You tell me, Bullhead City, baby, ain't got it. Look at this. This has got to be. Oh my God, this has got to be California people. Look at that blue roof. These are all these Californians that came over here with tons of money. They're down here year round. They got good air conditioners in here.
Now he's complaining about people from California who sold and moved. Well, you know, Tim, they probably had that prison job. He just cannot believe. He's like rolling around. Dang, these people got money. Tim, they probably work for it. You know, I'm sure most of these people are not trust fund babies. I'm sure these are people that went to those prison jobs for those prison companies for, you know, 20, 30, 40 years. You know, maybe they wasted their money in the stock market.
What a neighborhood.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It just looks inviting. Look, they're building. This
Oh,
is
yeah,
all new,
absolutely.
man. This is a new. Look at this guy's high garages for his RVs. Look at that.
And I can't blame people that if you've been in a high cost area in the United States and you're, you know, able to sell that home and buy something outright. I've known here, a friend of mine sold a place he had to a couple who were from the north of the country here on the East Coast, coming to Virginia Beach. And they just bought the place outright from him because they had sold their home. They made good equity because a lot of people, you know, have held on to their homes, you know, because fortunately at the time when we were buying, homes were probably less expensive. And most people, you know, hold on. Like I've held my property for 21 years now. So when you hold a property that long and you got it at a good deal, your equity is going to build up so that you're able to sell that home or potentially, you know, rent the property, which is, you know, one of the things I've also considered doing and keeping this as a rental and buying something else, but building up your assets over time. And Tim's missed all of this. He's 65 now. He thinks he's going to be dead in 8 years. So why he's coveting a bunch of houses? Tim, it's, you know, you're a long way off from getting a down deposit on one of these places. I don't know how much they're out here. I'm sure they're still not inexpensive. I'm sure they're still going to hit the $500,000 mark. I mean, I don't know. I'm basing it on Virginia Beach prices. Everything in this area is expensive.
Look at that. His big boat in there. All right, how do I get out of here?
Right.
He's got the high garages too. Holy smokes. That was a huge house. Wow. My goodness. Man, these people got some spreads down here on this end. Look at this spread. He's got like 10-car garage, this guy. Get me out of here. I got to get to the golf course. Get me out.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Gen X.
I think this road right here might get me back out. I think up in the front, though, they have some more modest homes. So you can drive around. Look at this guy with his dog. He can just drive around with these cars with license plates and lights and stuff. As soon as
Oh my God, Tim would have a heart attack in Virginia Beach then, because everybody rolls around. And he should know in Florida, everybody's got these golf carts here at the beach. I saw, there's dads all the time. I mean, they got like limo style almost for some of these families. You'll see them taking their golf carts with their, little. They're everywhere. Tim, how do you feel about a person who owns a big old house that's got a swimming pool and it's right next to the beach? I mean, oh, Tim, you came from Florida. You should understand, he's just, the envy is real for this gentleman. The envy is real. You got to work for it, Tim.
In row down there, you get a little bit more modest homes, and I'm sure, these are all brand new. Who knows what they cost? Probably the 400s.
Oh my gosh.
Those other ones back there got to be
California, wow.
700,000, 800,000, maybe $1 million. I mean, it'd be $2 million in Florida. It could be a couple of million. I don't even know. How about this one? It's cheap. How about that one? That trailer. Look, we got some squatters over here in the neighborhood. Hey. Yeah, we're coming out to the older part of the neighborhood. That's 95 up there if I can get to it.
So he called the people who are in, mobile homes squatters. Well, then does that make you a squatter, Tim? It's amazing how he, for somebody who's a minimalist and such a good Christian man, how he has just gone through this neighborhood and looked at people's belongings and then decided the value of these people. So he's, sort of degrading in my mind, when these people are, still they probably have that plot of land, Tim. Maybe they own that mobile home completely paid off and don't have an EIDL loan to the government. You don't know people's situations. You have no idea. But you certainly like to comment and you like to, certainly covet other people's, and that's certainly not one of the commandments from the Bible, Tim. You're not supposed to covet what others have. That's like one of the things that you will get yourself in a lot of trouble with jealousy and envy. They are green-eyed monsters that will take you down, sweetheart. And you are portraying, in my opinion, a lot of it just in a very simple video. And that is really not very mature for a gentleman who will be 66 years old at the end of the year. And I understand, you wonder how other people, but they do it. And the only thing that you can do is not be concerned about it and worry about what you have and what you can do. If I got envious and jealous about everything, you'll eat yourself up inside. But he's eating himself up inside because he does a lot of this. No topics.
Here goes the golf cart guy.
Yeah, he's the king.
How does a man get out of here? That says no outlet. There's a mail center right there, so this must be some kind of... Why would they have a mail center? They don't drop your mail off at your house in here?
Yep.
Well, you've seen it, folks. You have seen it. Open house. Oh, it's a garage sale. It's a garage sale.
Tim's just rolling around the neighborhood, openly doxing these people, of course, who are just going about their day. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, you know? It just comes to a time, where is this content, you know? And where is this Tim just sharing his envy, you know? I mean, I like to, like I said, I've certainly, you know, have enjoyed when I went out of town and I was specifically looking for property, you know, going through the neighborhoods. I wasn't impressed, sadly, with any of the neighborhoods. It was a very sad place, I hate to say. I mean, I just feel like this is something that you do when you're 20 and you're just starting your career and trying to think about the things that you may get in the future. Maybe when you're married, you're looking at stuff, or, you know, first big job or whatever. But at 60 some years old, I just find it, you know, that's something that's, you know, not a good personality trait. And beware, people. Because if he comes into your life and you have things, he's going to covet what you have constantly.
Yeah. How do I get up to 95? And that's not I-95 in Florida. That's State Road 95.
His voice is
You get up
killing me
on out of here. Right here. I think it's where I came in. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tour. I'm going to go ahead and end this long video here. It's a morning chat video. We're going to head to the golf course. That'll be up later this afternoon. Hope you guys enjoy your Memorial weekend. We definitely appreciate all those patriots that served our country and, of course, paid the ultimate sacrifice to give us the freedoms to come out and do the things that we're doing, I'm doing, and you're doing every single day. So if you
And we appreciate that, Ted, but we know you did not serve in the military. But we do appreciate it. We appreciate our service people for the sacrifices they have made to keep us safe in our country. Tim probably jealous of them too.
See a vet today or you see a memorial, make sure you pay your respects, and always remember, always remember, never forget the sacrifice that those good men and women have done for us in this country. Crush it.
Well, Tim, did you think about potentially buying a cup of coffee for any of these people? You know, doing something nice for a service member on Memorial Day, since you're so big on passing it on. Yeah, he served in the Salvation Army. Absolutely. And the only person he was salvating was himself. Yes. Freedom is being able to get out of a random neighborhood. It is, Claudette. It is. So, just to finish out, I know other people have been getting on and everyone's getting on with their Memorial Days. I know that I've got an event to get to at 3:00 this afternoon. He will now. We're just going to go over to Darling's page, and I just wanted to show you very quickly, just to give you a little bit more background to Tim. Let's get over to his page. For Darling's page, I wanted to show you where he actually, you know, his loans and stuff in reality. He's still not put out a video for today. And I'm surprised because we're sitting at 1:00 in the afternoon. If you are in the Arizona area, let me know what time it is in Arizona. I'm very bad with my times here in the US, like different coasts. So I apologize for that. I'm on the East Coast. It's almost 1:00 in the afternoon. And I'm surprised we have not seen anything from Tim yet. I'm surprised because usually by now he would have posted something. That was fun. Yes. Enjoy your prison holiday, everybody. Thank you, Barry Exposure. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for coming in. I'm just going to show this quick thing from Darling, and then I'm finishing it up. All of you who joined me in the chat and all of you from the community from Sarasota, Tim, I absolutely appreciate you guys as well. So we have him explain. Darling does some great compilations. I just wanted to share this one video where he talks about his she gives an idea about some of his the loans and stuff. And this is his scamming of the federal government. We're going to play real fast just so you can kind of get a background of a little bit about some of the things that he's doing that could be really problematic, and why we're starting to show him more on this channel. And just to warn people, not to listen to this person's advice, because he really has no idea what he's talking about. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share this screen. And I'll put a link in for maybe Tim went to church. Oh yeah, he definitely went to church, Ms. Vicky, but it's the Church of Coffee. He's not going to any other church. He's not going to any other church. Okay, so this is we won't see all of it because it's long, and I know everyone's getting on with their day, but we'll just check in a little bit about his actual admission to scamming the federal government on his YouTube channel. Yeah. That's what we got here. People, that's what we got here.
63,000 subscribers. He became popular in July 2023 for a series of videos advising people to take Social Security early at age 62. As his channel grew, Timothy Baker came under scrutiny for a number of expensive vehicle purchases he documented on his YouTube channel between late 2020 and April 2022. Critics have alleged that Baker funded these purchases by misusing a $58,000 COVID loan intended to protect small businesses during the pandemic. Did Sarasota Tim defraud the government?
So, did Sarasota Tim defraud the government? Look at all his stuff. This is interesting. Okay, and there are ways, I think they provide links if you do want to report him to the government. So, yeah. It's interesting that we don't see him. It's 10 a.m. Usually, he would have had out at least 2 videos by now. So, he's either very tired from all this golf, which, says a lot about his cardiovascular function.
Let's take a closer look. We're going to start by examining Timothy Baker's assets in chronological order. First, examining his finances before the pandemic.
I've worked for myself most of my life. And aside from when I was in the automobile business, and I was a car salesman, from 1976 or 7 for 17 years, but I was in.
And now what we're understanding, he really wasn't a car salesman. He was just there detailing and washing the cars. So we don't even know if this is true. Because what we've heard from people in the chat today is that Tim is not a salesperson in the car industry. He just was the detailer.
My own business.
Not to say that detailing a car is not important, but it's just important if you're going to say what your work history was, to actually say what you did. Don't be embarrassed. If what you did was detail the cars, talk about detailing cars. I've had people laugh at me because when I first came to the United States and I left my marriage and left Mexico, and I just was not, I just needed to get a job. And I didn't, I just moved to the country. I needed to get the car, my driver license, all these different things organized. So I took a job at a local bar/restaurant, and I worked as a server, and I got the pleasure of, at the end of the night, having to obviously clean the bathrooms out. And people wanted to laugh at me about the fact that at one point in my life, I cleaned toilets at a bar because I was out of my divorce and I was setting up my new life here in this country. And, why people would think it was funny I did that, I had a degree. I had a teaching degree. I was just moved to another country and I needed to get work. And they hired me very quickly at this place. So I took the job. And people wanted to criticize me for it. Now I'm in grad school, trained to be a whole different type of job. But you promise you, when I worked as a nurse, I've done the work probably that some nurse aides wouldn't even want to touch when it came to cleaning and taking care of patients. So I have totally done these jobs that are so nasty and so disgusting that, it's beneath people. But I don't think time when it's hard work and you're earning an honest living, I don't think there's anything to be ashamed about. So I just want to preface that. But Tim does feel shame. Okay. Tim does feel shame. I'm quite happy to talk about any type of job I've had in my life. And I don't hold it with shame because I was working and I knew I was doing an honest day's work. So never any shame in that.
I had an advertising business for 33 years. I only worked 2 or 3 hours a day, 2 or 3 days a week for 33 years. They get that years before they get their Social Security. So when the Social Security kicks in, they got that plus Social Security, and they might have what, everybody's got this 401. I can't even spell it.
Right.
So I don't have any of that. Going back in the old days,
Yep.
I rented.
I promise you, as a nurse aide and even as just a registered nurse, because I would do the work the aides wouldn't do. I mean, I spent an hour cleaning up a patient with active C. diff. Okay. And nobody would go in that room with me. And this patient probably weighed 450 pounds. And so I had her on a turning mat that they had. And I spent, every time I tried to clean her up, another, release. Every time I rolled her. I probably spent an hour or so in that room in mask and gloves and everything else trying to clean that poor patient up. And she's still sitting on chemotherapy and still, So, and I've had friends of mine laugh at me about that too, because I was an RN and that's, what I did for work. I don't see any problem with it. At least I worked hard, I'm not lying like old Tim here, so all due respects to all of us who've been out there and as part of our professional development to get to our graduate studies, or to get to our careers, that we've had to go through the what people would think are the, the dirty jobs, the dirty jobs that people wouldn't want to do. Don't ever laugh at those people. Tim though thinks he's better than all that as he sits here in his bow tie. Lord, it's bow tie Tim.
So I never built equity. I didn't flip houses. They've built wealth, or they were in the stock market. All of these things, I have none. I told you I'm a minimalist. Minimalist in investments, minimalist in making money. I mean, I never even made that big of money. And even when I worked, I'll be honest with you, I didn't save money. And the savings is nothing. The savings is just to, God forbid, an emergency. It's not like, hey, I got all this money in the savings. I can, take a cruise or, take the wolf pup out and travel. No.
Next, let's look at the money Sarasota Tim received during the COVID pandemic.
Okay, so he just talked a little bit about, his assets. I don't have any of this stuff. Okay. Now we're going to find out. I think he took this video down, but luckily this is why reaction channels are so important. This is why we're looking at Tim, because this is the sort of stuff that Tim does. Think foodie's a problem? Look at Tim. And he's doing this in the US, folks.
A government loan. That's where I got my money. When I was put out of business during the pandemic, you guys might have heard of PPP. I got a couple of $1,000 twice. I could have got 3, but I missed out on one because I don't know. It's another story. And those were forgiven. They came up with that unemployment. Do you guys remember the $600 a week that people were getting and they didn't want to work because they were making more money on unemployment? Here's one. But during the pandemic, they gave your unemployment of what you were used to making every week. And again, my income was very low on the record, so the unemployment amount was really a smaller than most people were getting. But that $600 a week they were giving for like 3 months, they gave to gig workers. They gave to self-employed people, again, because they shut us down. It was so much money that I was able to bank a few dollars.
And retailers were desperate to get people to work for them too during that time because they had such, they needed people to do deliveries and all sorts of things to help people who could not get out the house. Maybe they had COVID. Completely able-bodied man here goes out on this unemployment for this amount of money. And when I think about, the fact that I was working as a nurse at the time and I had just by chance had started my own sort of private nursing business, it was before the pandemic, and I had all these plans to get out and market my nursing business and so forth. And the pandemic came. I happened to find one client who kind of captured me full time. I barely charged them anything for my nursing experience. I did not feel comfortable without having a vaccine at the time and being someone alone and having, only me. I was concerned. I'm older. I didn't go into the hospitals until the vaccine came, and that's when I started to return back onto the floor. But I was, maybe making, $1,000 a week, maybe $1,300 a week in my business, because I did some other things for clients too. And then obviously I paid taxes on top of it. So anytime I was sent anything extra from the government, I just put that money aside and sent it back to the IRS for the taxes on my nursing business. And then I was hearing all of these other folks were getting all of these unemployment checks and stuff. And obviously I couldn't apply for unemployment. I was a registered nurse. I wasn't going to be able to prove that I could, I couldn't work. But Tim could have gone to a retail outlet and found a job. I had a friend of mine who's a neighbor. This guy worked so hard that the minute he couldn't work and do his usual stuff where he tours with bands and stuff, he does something with concerts. He literally went and got himself a job at Walmart. He could not bear to be not doing work. They wanted to make him a manager over there. He stayed at that Walmart actually for quite some time until he was able to get back to his regular work because he just wanted to work. So he didn't take any of this unemployment money that he probably would have been eligible for because his work had come to an end with concerts and stuff. But he didn't. He went and worked. Look at Tim, though. Tim's going to spend look at all the money he's getting. And this is a man who never really worked but 2 or 3 hours a week and is on spousal SSI benefits, okay? Not through his own volition, but due to his ex-wife's volition.
Remember I got those too. We all got them, that stimulus checks. So money kept coming in that actually did put me in that position of where I was saying, hell, pandemic wasn't so bad. I, got put out of business, but I was able to save some money, make some money, and every bit as much money as I was making working. And then some.
Look at this. Look at all this money. Tim's never the most work-shy individual. Tim, I've worked with colleagues on the floor, 72 years old, who are still active nurses. 72, your dead age, okay? The age that, and loving being a nurse. It's taken a couple of years out and not worked, missed it, went back to nursing. I've known a lot of nurses to pull themselves out of retirement because they miss being nurses. 72 years old, working nights. 3 12s in a row with me sometimes 4 12s in a row. 4 12s. 40, that's 48. When we talk 12s, those shifts go longer. So we're talking getting into the 50-some plus hours in a week, sweetheart. And you don't get much sleep on night shift. And we might go 4 nights in a row. So you have no idea. Lazy work shy. Look, getting all this money from the government too, from all taxes. Lazy.
To recap, Timothy Baker had almost no savings for retirement, but received somewhere in the neighborhood of $22,000 in COVID relief funds, which would have had to cover his living expenses too. This all preceded a much larger non-forgivable loan that we'll talk about shortly. But before that, the big spending began. First, Sarasota Tim bought a new 2019 Toyota Camry in late 2020. A month later, Timothy Baker turned 62 and began to collect his Social Security. The initial benefit was $1,500 a month, later increased to $1,700 through a cost of living increase. A few months later, Sarasota Tim bought this new 2021 Toyota 4Runner.
Okay, YouTube, this is my new 4Runner. That's my trade-in there, my 2019 Camry SE.
This guy drives a more expensive vehicle than I've ever driven in my working professional life. And I promise you, I probably have made more than Tim. especially having reached, 10 years as a, nurse, working as a charge nurse, basically being what they call clinical 2. They're getting rid of some of those titles now, but I was what was known as a Clin 2 at that point. And if you're Clin 2 as a nurse, you're in a good pay rate. Okay. That means you've got experience, supervisory experience, charge experience. They're not doing it anymore, unfortunately. Because I go in and be like, how are you not putting me down as clinical 2? But, some of the things are changing. But yeah, he's driving a nicer truck than me on SSI, $1,700 a month. Tim, I can promise you, I would hate to let you know, but those of us in healthcare, that's not an unusual weekly take home, for the week before taxes. That type of money. Once the tax man gets it, it's a whole other story. But he would have a heart attack. He really would when he actually saw real people and saw how much we pay in taxes, Social Security, and all that stuff. He'd have a heart attack.
Fully stock, good looking car. And this is my shiny new red SR5 4-wheel drive premium.
I hear you, Rescue.
4Runner premium with the leather, the sunroof.
We don't know how much Tim owed on the Camry or what he got for it in trade. He would not have had enough money to buy either vehicle without financing them. We're conservatively estimating he financed $20,000 of the Camry and got $20,000.
Who in the heck does not own a home, any assets, and then goes out and gets a $45,000 vehicle? What type of financial brilliance is that? That his mind, you don't want to listen to this person. Look at the money that he spends on vehicles. This is a man who needs to be in a used car. Okay? But he wants everyone to think that he's big time, and when he's driving down that highway with that Tundra and that Flagstaff, he wants people thinking that this is just his weekend shit. He's gonna be ball rolling it to his villa house with the clay tiles over in, Laughlin or wherever he's at. No, you're sitting here with all this depreciating asset on a loan. $45,000. Incredible.
$1,000 trade-in value, which would have required him to finance a total of around $45,000 for the 4Runner. 7 months after financing the 4Runner, the Small Business Administration announced its EIDL loan program intended for businesses hurt by the pandemic.
I know. Isn't it funny that Tim would be so angry at the thought that the government might actually forgive part of the student loan that I've been paying on persistently for 10 years for becoming a registered nurse, that I have paid thousands of dollars in interest on, more than the amount they would forgive me for. And this thing has only gone down about, $12,000 or $13,000. And I have paid religiously hundreds of dollars a month on this thing because the interest and the way it accrues is awful, which is why I hate taking out student loans, which is why I did not want to do it to grad school. But in the end, I realized to get through grad school and to try to work full time the way I was and try to do grad school, it was becoming very impossible with the thought of having to do clinicals and everything else. So I've just said, darn it. I'm just going to keep doing stupid because it's hard sometimes and I'm single. And I just have tried to do the work in school and it's going to take me forever. And so I said, not my smartest, but I do have home and I have an equity. So if anything really were to happen, I could pay off the loans, technically, because I have a property behind me. But still, it's still scary to take on this amount of money. But I'm doing it for a career. This gentleman is just taking on all this for depreciating assets. It's just wild to me. Look at all this money he's getting. And you're right. These people all want these loans forgiven. Why should Tim have a loan forgiven or all that money? And I can't get a little bit of relief on a student loan that the government is literally charging daily compounding interest on. I mean, it's sad at how much money I have put towards that loan and how little it goes down. You think I don't work hard? But, you know, he would tell me I'm a scammer.
Then they said, apply for these loans. These aren't forgivable, but the SBA, Small Business Administration, is going to give you what they call an EIDL, emergency.
Right. Exactly, Rescue Ninja. Yeah.
Something.
Oh, see.
Anyway, it was a business loan. And because of catastrophes, disasters.
I'm trying to figure out how he managed to secure so much of an EIDL loan. I got a small EIDL loan to help me with, you know, because of my business was being affected. I took out $1,200 and I was working and I actually had a business at the time. And then I think I got the $1,000 that they said it was going to be 10, but they didn't want to give it to 10 unless you had 10 employees or whatever. So I did get that $1,000. You know what I did with it? I sent it to the government to pay my taxes for my business. So all of this money that everyone talked about, I just ended up sending all that money back to the government to pay my taxes. Because even if you were getting unemployment and all that stuff, still taxable income, you understand. At least maybe the state part is. I don't know about the federal, but I know here in the Commonwealth, when I have received unemployment, when I was made redundant many years ago, you know, back in the 08-09 crash, they still include your unemployment as income. So you're still subject to taxes if you hit that bracket. So I'm hoping paying his taxes on all this stuff
and everything to keep your businesses afloat. So I got approved.
Right.
I got one, and
right. Many of us didn't.
But the EIDL was a loan that was a lot more money, and it was to help businesses, you know, keep the machinery up, their rents, and you know, so they wouldn't have to go out of business. But it was a 30-year loan, like a mortgage, and it was a very small interest rate. I think it's 3.75. So I took it, and I paid off some debt.
As you can see, the only debt Timothy Baker had at the time was the balance of his loan on the Forerunner, estimated at about $45,000.
So I took it, and I paid off some debt. But they said the interest, though, will continue to accrue. But it was a 30-year loan. Now, I've already resolved with the fact that I'll be paying that the rest of my life. So I took the loan. I waited the 2 years. I paid off some debt. I had some change, a lot of change left over. When the payment comes, I'll just get a job. I mean, it's like a $300 payment.
I know. I was so excited that I might get some student loan forgiveness, Rescue Ninja, because I've been paying on these loans for some time, you know, and I've paid probably $20,000 in interest during that time. And obviously, we're supporting a lot of different government programs, all of us students, you know, so they don't really want to get rid of us paying all these student loans. And most of us pay. So whatever you're hearing that people say, oh, these students don't pay anything, that's not true. I paid the entire time, even when we weren't supposed to be paying on those loans. Guess what? I paid on those loans. Because you're giving me 0% interest and I actually have a chance to knock this principal down. I promise you, I'm going for it. And I still, even with putting, you know, my employers were even helping me. It's amazing how little that loan went down. And now, obviously, all that interest is starting back up again. So they literally do trap people into, especially with these larger loans, which is why I say to younger people, be cautious. You know, I had 36 credit hours of grad school paid for already by an employer, which is why I said, you know, it just really would be not bright to do it. Would I rather not take a loan and have, of course, but can I manage, you know, medical grad school for becoming a nurse practitioner and trying to work 40 hours a week? It's really hard. And be a single person trying to maintain my home. You know, when am I supposed to even clean or a dish or make a meal? It becomes almost, you know, to the point where it's impossible. Because I tried it for over a year. I was a part-time grad student and a full-time worker. But yeah, we were essential workers and we weren't getting any of this. And, you know, everyone wanted to call us a hero and give us a free coffee. And now they're talking about helping nurses that because the public service loan forgiveness program was so poorly set up and how it was done that they have started for some of these folks, for teachers and nurses, have forgiven some of their loans. And I promise you, they've paid that interest on that loan probably. And then what they forgive, you are still having to pay that in taxes. So they'll show that as loan forgiveness, but you still have a tax implication from it because they'll consider that income or something. So there's a tax implication behind it. So it's not always free. That's why you have to always be cautious when you hear people talk about free money and free that. You got to do your own research and not listen to talking heads like Tim. Most scam people.
So who couldn't
get passionate on this one.
Get a job and make $300 falling out of bed?
After paying off the debt on the Forerunner, Sarasota Tim had enough change, as he calls it, for more purchases.
How's it going, everyone? Sarasota Tim.
Yeah, I've been on the IDR since 2014. So I made sure I did IDR originally, but I've had times where I worked, unfortunately, as a travel RN, and then they would not certify that as being, a public service when you do it as a travel. So I kind of got that. And then some of the businesses I've worked for nursing have not been like big hospital systems. Some have been. So I have some time on it. But it wasn't consistent as it could have been. But yeah, because I wanted to travel as a nurse for a while. So yeah, but I do have that IDR and all that sorted out. But we'll see what happens.
Here in North Carolina, just took delivery of my 2016 camper I bought in almost new condition. What are you looking at? You're looking at a brand new, well, new to me. It's a 2020 Honda 250L. It's a CRF. It's a bike, a dirt bike, and a street bike.
In this June 2023 video, Timothy Baker goes through his current budget. Note that he does not list vehicle payments. All his vehicles were paid off.
I get $1,700 a month. I pay my rent. I pay my electric. It's not too bad in a little camper, as you can imagine. I pay the government loan, which I told you.
Now, don't you feel safe and comfortable? Tim's reading from a piece of paper as he drives down the highway. He can't even stop to do his video. He's literally driving and reading from a piece of paper. Safety is not his priority ever, or safety for those around him.
It was $300. I got car insurance, obviously full coverage on a $40,000 vehicle here. I've got one credit card. I have to make like a couple $100 a month payment on it to try to cover what I spend on it every month.
I know, Pat.
And it still keeps climbing. I have food, which I put down here, $800. I don't think that's an exaggeration. Gas for my car, I have to say, because
if you had your income at $1,700 a month, why would you put food at $800? What are you doing to your food budget? Tim, I spent less and had a meal service coming to my house through Cook Unity. God, I wish they would sponsor me. I miss you guys. When I get back to work, I'll go back to it. But when I was having to work and study and all this, I did use a meal service. And I would get all these meals. I promise you, it was less than that that I was spending. And I was getting like chef-prepared meals. I didn't have to do anything but stick it in the oven. Marvelous. Saved me so much time and effort. It's a great thing. I'm just going to let you know. If you've never tried out Cook Unity, they got some fantastic food. I miss them.
Now that I'm going back and forth with this job, I'm buying more gas than I was. I got a couple $100 for gas. My phone,
that's awesome.
You guys know I got visible wireless.
I'm happy to hear that.
I haven't paid for my phone in 2 years because I pay $5 a month. Because I made some videos about visible wireless. My medical insurance, I'll be honest with you guys.
Right.
During the pandemic, you guys heard of Obamacare? I got on it.
On his YouTube channel, Timothy Baker unwittingly documented over $50,000 in spending on vehicles. At the time of purchase, he had no personal savings and only a marginal income in addition to some leftover COVID relief funds. His YouTube channel was not yet large enough to provide significant income. Baker admitted that the EIDL loan was intended to pay for business expenses and business debt incurred during the pandemic. But he had no business to save. He admitted he had closed it during COVID. On video, Baker admits to using the $58,000 loan proceeds to pay off non-business related debt.
So I took it and I paid off some debt.
His only debt was for
I think if anybody, I think if anybody has the desire to work hard, regardless of what your education is, you're going to work hard and you're probably going to do well. I have a friend of mine who, obviously, he graduated high school. He did not go to college, and he was taught at a young age how to flip houses, like back in the early 2000s. And he learned how to buy houses on auction. He does the work. He fixes them up. He has other friends that are in the industry who he subcontracts and he does the work. And he has rented and flipped houses and so forth. Now he's kind of slowing it down. He's got some houses that he rents. He's not flipping as much as he used to, but he made himself a millionaire that way. He's a millionaire. He's got tons of money sitting in the bank. My friend is loaded. Never went to college, but he worked hard and he listened and learned from people. So when, Sarasota talks about, he didn't make money flipping houses. Well, Tim, that was not smart because my friend actually learned how to do that from a friend of his in Florida and learned how to buy houses on auction and took money that he originally had and just started investing. And then over time, he's now doesn't have to work other than maintaining his rental properties. That's it. That's all he has to do. So you guys probably see my friend Rob in my videos. That's my buddy. But yeah. So, and look what this man has at 65. I promise you, my friend, when he wants to go get himself a new Mercedes, he goes and buys that thing in cash. And he always buys it secondhand because he knows about depreciating assets.
Or a luxury SUV. And then he used some of the balance to buy an RV trailer and a motorcycle. These purchases don't appear possible with his limited Social Security income alone. The Small Business Administration has a process to report fraudulent EIDL loans on its website. A number of people have already reported this loan as potentially fraudulent, but as of yet, there has been no word if the SBA is investigating Timothy Baker. There is a link in the description box if you would like to see how this process works. Do you think Timothy Baker defrauded the federal government with his EIDL loan? Leave your comments and thoughts below. And thanks for watching.
All right, guys, let me take that down. All right, so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a taste at the end because I know everyone's getting ready to get off on their Memorial weekend here, and I want to get you guys going. I need to take Junebug out for another walk so I can go and see my friend that I was just talking about. Actually, I got my friend who flips the houses, who would be laughing at Tim, man. Yeah, we got to go crush it. The coffee is moving through my system now. So, yeah, you got to get to that prison barbecue and crush it. Yeah, there's prisons, they do some really horrible stuff for their, inmates. I was just thinking of some of the prison stuff I had to do. Like when I was prison out of business and I used to have to do like golf tournaments and stuff with people because that was part of my prison work. He's definitely one of these people that complains about, everybody else getting money. And then look how much money Tim got. And Tim's not somebody who worked that hard to pay that many taxes in his life. But look how much he just got from the U.S. government. Look at that big old chunk. Not only all of that unemployment from somebody who barely contributed, especially his oil change coupon business or whatever, was worth getting a $58,000 loan. $58,000 loan. How are you going to do, Tim? Think about it. If your YouTube drives up, mate, you're going to be back at Publix shilling those crackers again. Because if you've got $1,700 and now you've got all that loan to pay and you're spending $800 on food, mate, your budget is not going to work out. Your budget is not going to work out. Even that $800 and $880 or whatever your RV fee is, that, sweetheart, is as much as my mortgage payment. I want to let you know. Your ground fees for parking your RV, if it's $880 a month or whatever, is actually more than my mortgage. Just wanted to let you know, Tim. That's more than my mortgage. Now, I do have condo fees that ends up making it a little bit more here. That covers water and sewage and landscaping and all the other stuff. But your RV is more than my mortgage. Just wanted to let you know. You have a clean house and my fancy car is dirty. Thank heaven I don't have a mower payment. Put your pants on, Tim. You're welcome, Miss Vicky. We are so glad that you came in here. I know. Pat's one of our mods over here, and she just cannot believe that Tim is this bad. Our flasher friend. Do you think he'd rope in another sugar mama to cover those wonderfully stupid purchases? I mean, I hope that, women would be more judicious in choosing partners. But, Tim's got the gift of the gab. He's got the charisma. He can show you a good time at the Outback Steakhouse. He'll take you for a cup of coffee. He'll make you split your plate with him when you go to order dinner. He's going to get you to buy a cruise that he's going to go on and then boss you about and tell you what you should be doing on the cruise you paid for. Yeah. You had a wonderful time, Claudette? I am so glad. Yeah, I'm so glad. I know. I'm going to get, I can't believe that Foodie went well. I'm going to go off and enjoy my rest of my Memorial Day weekend, but I may go live with the girls tomorrow. I'm still considering it because, I don't want to bore everybody with my presence too. I don't want to be the next Tim. So yeah, I need to check out what Foodie's nonsense was before I head out the door. You're shocking yourself now. I know, isn't he? He's pretty. He's an interesting character. I know some people find him boring, but when you see how problematic he is, and then you just listen to his little pearls of wisdom throughout it, and how jealous and envious he is of other people, you're just thinking to yourself, "OMG, how did this guy?" I'm always interested in the cult of personality, the charisma that attracts people to this sort of gift of the gab. What is it about these types of individuals that they do convince so many people that they've got the answer, that they, I think it's that everyman sort of persona that he presented originally. And then he then talked about one video about something he did, and he's still pushing out this Social Security. And we actually think that Dr. Ed Weir came out of retirement to just address Tim and his problematic information. Because, they were all doing it during the pandemic, doing, YouTube videos on PPE. And obviously YouTube started to blow up because people were at home and people were looking for things to watch and people discovered YouTube. And then suddenly all of these different creators, even Foodie, during the Cuba rage time, all that stuff, everybody was banking because of the pandemic. People were home more. The views were higher, and he's trying to convince people he's got the answer to retirement, and retirement is looking different for every generation as we go along. Retirement looks different for everybody. It's not a cookie cutter, but Tim is like straight up narcissism. Absolutely. And Angel Glass, please don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, please hit the likes. As soon as I figure out oh, thank you, Mac. I appreciate it. We appreciate the coffees because I am a broke grad student, obviously. Yeah, Tim is very unique. Tim is unique. He is. Delulu Pondu says that's the thing with the girl world cows. The unbelievable jealousy they have at the world and how they mask it. Absolutely. And that's why Tim is now an honorary member of Girl World. Tim, you have been honored to be included into the girl world landscape now. And I would love to get Mr. Snowflake to do a documentary about you. You know, it's time we also look at, you know, because we look at different types of men. There's always like these like finance bros and stuff, but they're not putting out all of their life like Tim. That's why Tim is so much more interesting, because he just puts it all out. His sub count has dropped. I'm hoping nomadic e-biking adventures that it keeps dropping. And I'm hoping, like Miss Vicky said, that the bots get taken out and then he gets his real, you know, numbers, you know. But we know that reality, my channel has like 100,000 subs too. And that YouTube just keeps unsubscribing people. And I have no idea why. And buy a coffee. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll buy a coffee for somebody behind me, you know, on my Panera card. Because I've only got the year, you know. See, that's what you missed out, Tim. I paid $100 for the entire year to have unlimited sip club at Panera Bread. So I get free coffee and tea all the time. I get iced tea. I get fountain drinks. I get coffee. I get hot tea. I get cold tea. I get cold coffee. You name it. I get it. Every 2 hours, I can go to Panera and get a new drink. And I only paid $100 for the entire year. What about that bargain? That's why my friends get irritated. Because they're like, let's go out for coffee. Let's go to Panera Bread, I say. Because I don't want to go spend any more money. He's going to regret putting it all out there. Oh, yeah, he will. Oh, he will. He's got everything out there. I mean, and we'll just keep letting, you know, the government know. I mean, he does need to be called in for that EIDL loan. He really does. Okay, let me just make sure I thank everybody today for all their kindness. Mr. Blind Views came on in and then gave me the best cup of coffee in my life. If you haven't checked out Blind Views, do check his content out. He's really funny. He's got some great takes. His stuff is quick. But if you're more interested in learning about the lure of Tim, who is new to who are in my community but new to Tim, go check it. Go check these people out. Don't go to Tim's channel, okay? We always say don't go to Tim. Go to the other channels and watch his content through us. Barium Exposure too. Thank you so much. Make sure you check out their channel. I did put links in the chats and you can find it all. And obviously Miss Vicky, we've got Darling. We have oh gosh, so many more others. You'll start to learn them all. And then Miss Lee. Thank you, Lee, for the super sticker. It's really appreciated. You guys were so nice to me today. I hope you enjoyed watching Tim. Tim is probably watching us. Good morning, Tim. Happy Memorial Day. Yeah, exactly. Don't touch the poop. That's what we always say. We don't touch the poop. We don't touch the poop. The poop is left in here. You can do all the pooping in here, and we're okay with it. We don't mind the poop. You like the show, Patricia? Thank you. I am so happy to be kind of, you know, doing the stream thing with Tim. I mean, look, Tim, we dedicated this much time to your content. You must be feeling very unique and very special today. And I'm so glad that we could do that. But we do want to just make sure that we're warning all the women in retirement age. Watch out for Tim. He's going to be coming to a coffee shop near you. He's going to try to pay it forward and expect something from it. Ah. Wear your gloves. You got to wear your gloves. All of my members who were here, you know you're appreciated. Check your coffee fund. Oh, Dr. Falcone, I will check my coffee fund. I am definitely going to check the coffee fund. In fact, I'm so, you know, why not? Just to finish out for Tim, you know, we can put up my, you know, right there. There's my link to my coffee. See, Tim has no idea. He doesn't even know how to brand his stuff better. You know, I've never even seen Tim put his QRS code out for his coffee club. You know, Tim, you need to get the technology, mate. You love the different people? I'm so glad, Angel of Glass, because I hear that Amberlynn Reed is leaving YouTube. That's what I heard. Amberlynn Reed is leaving YouTube. She's just done with everybody. So she's going to be gone for a week. And we don't really cover her. Foodie, well, she's back, and she'll be mukbanging in about 2 days. Glitters has got some issues, so we're gonna round it back to Glitters again. So we will be back to Glitters. Don't you believe? But now Tim has become an honorary member of Girl World. Absolutely. Oh, checking the channels. Oh, Miss Sam. Oh, thank you, Sam. I am a nurse. That is my superpower. Oh, thank you, Sam. I appreciate £2 towards my coffee. Oh, I love seeing the pound signs. I love it. It's a little taste of home. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. No, I'm scared about Tim. Yeah, Tim has to put his pants on. If you have not seen my video about Tim and his destroying his image in one flash as a Christian YouTuber, check my video out. It was my first sort of time doing a reaction to Tim, but we will keep up with Tim. I know some people may find Tim boring, but I'll just get his quicker videos, and then I'll do like my sort of psychiatric mental health breakdown of what he's saying and try to go through, because I know a lot of people enjoyed that video, and we can take a very short one of his things, because there's actually a lot to unpack in a very boring video with what he says that tells a lot about his personality traits. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating. Sam does rock. Sam does rock. You enjoyed it? Thank you, Gina. I am so glad. I am so glad for all of you who came over here. Yeah, the little pound signs. You know I love it. I love my pounds. I still got pounds here with the queen on it. Yeah, but thank you, Gina. I'm so glad that we were able to merge Girl World with Tim's World, you know, with the reaction parody community that focuses on Tim and his nonsense. And I felt that he was a perfect person to bring in to this nonsense, because he got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we got Foodie with her tax issues in Canada, but Tim got all sorts of stuff going on here in the US. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm going to play out my branding, get this done, because I know we're all getting to places today. I appreciate all the donations to the coffee fund, all the chats. We will be touching Tim again. And if you haven't had a chance to like this stream, please do so. It's always appreciated. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel, I appreciate that as well. And we'll catch you the next.